Hey there. So I did a video about a week and a half ago, just with my cell phone. Walked you around, kind of showed the car, showed the Cutlass out there, kind of explained my projects, what I got going on, what the plans are for them, where they're both at. And it ended up being like a 22-minute long video. And so I went to upload it to YouTube and it said too long. So here we are again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this with the normal GoPro. I will split this into the Camaro, so I'll do kind of an overview of the Camaro, what I got going on with that. I have some stuff I got to work on with it. That's why it's in the garage. I've got a set of shocks that I'm going to do a video on next. The turbo's currently out of it right now, so I'll get the turbo back a couple of weeks. Hopefully we can get that back on, and then once this is out of the garage and we pull the Cutlass in the garage, then I'll do a walk around the Cutlass, kind of explain it, and I've got a handful of videos I want to do for it. So for right now, let's go ahead and do the Camaro. 1984 Chevy Camaro. I bought it in 2004, and I drove it my senior year of high school. I drove it back and forth to high school. It had a 307 and a 5-speed. Yes, I did say that correctly. It had a 307. At some point, somebody had put a 307 in it. I don't know why. 307s, 305s, they're both garbage motors as far as I'm concerned. It was kind of my first experience with drag racing. I had gotten hooked up with a Camaro club here in town. Obviously, you can see it's dirty. It needs washed after we get it out of the garage. I had got hooked up with the LVF body here in town and went out to a track day and got my first experience on the drag strip, and it's all been downhill from there. So it's kind of a little bit of a shot around the car a little bit. So I ran the car. I made 2 passes that first day of the track. I was determined before I went to the track the car was going to go 13.99. I knew it was that fast. Once the track first hit off the trailer, first hit when I got there, went 16.07. So I was a little disappointed. I made another hit. It went 15.92, I believe. I just held it in 3rd gear rather than shift into 4th. And so 2 things happened that day. One, I realized that I enjoy drag racing. That's something I wanted to do. And 2, I realized that 15s ain't going to get it done. That was not okay. I did not want to go. I felt like 15s were too slow. So fast forward, I built a 350 Ford, 9.5 to 1 350 Vortex cylinder heads, hydraulic roller cam, and we stuck it in the car with a 700 R4. Got rid of the T5, and the fastest I got it to go with that. I ran that motor for 3 or 4 or 5 years or so. Fastest I got it to go, it went 1220 as an all-motor car, and then I stuck a B&M 177 blower on it, and that's what it looked like. It had the blower on it for I think a year or so. With the blower, it would go 1170. That was fun for a little bit, and then I kind of got a little bit of a taste of the turbo thing. A short backstory on that. So my ex-wife had bought a 76 Camaro when we first met, and so we'd only been dating a week. She got a 76 Camaro, dropped it off at my house. It didn't run when she bought it, so I did a little bit of work on it, found out that it had a bad module in the distributor, got it running. She was in love with it. She thought it was the greatest thing ever. She went and drag raced it, and I think the thing went like 1740 at 70 miles an hour or something. It had a completely stock GM 350. You used to be able to buy them from Jegs for like $1,700 for a long one. I mean, 260 horsepower, like 8.5 to 1 compression. Just a bare bones like replacement truck motor or something. So we stuck a different intake on it and a Holley carburetor, and we got it to go like 1640s, I think. And then she wanted to go faster. I didn't have a whole lot of money, and I wasn't going to throw a whole lot of money into a car that didn't belong to me. So fast forward a little bit, and we ended up throwing a turbo on it. We did an S400 on it, a small little hydraulic cam in it, 373 gears, and on 7 pounds of boost, that 350 went 13 flat. So, which isn't very fast, but it picked up over 3.5 seconds on 7 pounds of boost. And so that was a little bit of an eye-opener for me, like, holy cow, how does a car go from 1650s to 13.0s on 7 pounds of boost? So we worked on it a little bit more. On 19 pounds of boost, the car would go 1190 at 106 or so, and she was out of it by 900 feet, I think. It just blew right through the converter. Like, it was getting 200 RPM drops between first and second to third. I never really got a chance to put a better converter in it. I think the car probably could have gone 1090s with the way it was set up with a better converter off the foot brake. However, her car had gotten to the point where it was faster than mine, so after an event, I'm loading mine onto an open trailer and I'm strapping it down and I'm throwing the fuel jugs in the back of the truck. Meanwhile, she puts air in her tires and she drives at 80 miles back to Pahrump. And I'm sitting here going, how does that work? I've got a quote-unquote race car. I've got a trailer and it runs 1170s and she's running, 1170s, 1180s or so, and she's driving hers home. Like, I'm doing something wrong. So after we split up, she took the car, which was fine. It was her car, and then I decided, you know what, I want to do more of this turbo thing. Like, this was fun. So that's when I decided to do a turbo motor for this. I originally built a Gen 1 motor for it. It had a 350. I don't think either of those pictures up there have the pictures of it. It had a 350. It had an S475. I actually got the car to go, I think, 920s with that setup. Put about 200 passes on it before it kicked a rod. So when it kicked a rod, I decided to switch over to an LS. So it's got a 6-liter LQ4. It's got one of John's cams in it. Holley high ram, stock cylinder heads, stock bottom ends, stock rods, stock pistons. I did open the ring gap. It's got 28 and 30 on the ring gap. It's got a Hughes torque converter. It's got a power glide with a 180 first gear in it. It's got a 354 9-inch on a 28-inch slick. It's been as fast as 915 at 150. It's a fun car. I enjoy it. I don't beat on it too much. That may change in the next 6 months or so. I've recently upgraded the computer. It's got an MS1 fuel-only Megasquirt. I upgraded that to a 4-bar map sensor. So the original map sensor was a 2-bar or a 2.5 bar. It's only good to about 21 pounds of boost, and I had run 21 pounds of boost in it. When I had the last issue where the turbo needed to come off, and the turbo coming off was all my fault. I made a mistake, so ended up damaging the seals in the turbo, so it's currently back in Georgia at forced inductions getting rebuilt. I went ahead and upgraded the computer to a 4-bar map sensor, so now that allows me something crazy like 41 pounds of boost. I don't plan on putting that kind of boost to it. I do plan on probably 24, 25, 26 pounds of boost. After I get this thing back together, I'd like to take it to a shop out in Henderson, see if I can get some dyno time with him. I think an hour and a half on a dyno, I should be able to get it all squared away. But when I did the 4-bar map sensor, I also upgraded the firmware in the computer, so I'm kind of starting all over from scratch with the tune. So that's why I would like to get it on the dyno first. So that's kind of the update on the Camaro, where the Camaro is at. If you guys have any questions on it, or if there's something you want to know about it, if there's anything you want to know about my racing and I race, my wife races, she's got a dragster, my dad races, he's got an S10. If there's anything you guys want to know about our racing, reach out to me, send me a comment, or post a comment. Let me know what you think, what you want to know. Over the last 5 or 6 years, I've had a couple of people reach out to me about bracket racing a turbo car. Here's what I can tell you: don't do it. If you're not going to listen to me and you insist on doing it, congratulations. I'm the same way. If you guys want to see a video, kind of my experience with racing a turbo bracket car and what I have figured out works, what I've figured out doesn't work, and what I enjoy about it, what I wish I had done different, let me know. That'd be something that I'd be interested in doing if people are interested in hearing it. That's it for this video. Stick around. I'm going to work on this tonight. I'm going to get the rear shocks put in. So we're going to start that in just a minute. Thanks, guys.